morning, Year 7. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. Please could you write the date and title? The title is Toad's Song. For your do now, I'd like you to match the points about Toad to an appropriate quote. So could you write out the points? And then next to each point, you're going to write out a quote. Pause the video to do this now. Okay, so the answers are on the slide. Please can you check them that you've got them correct? If you haven't, please can you correct what you've got? Okay, so in Chapter 10, we read more about the adventures Toad has. Can you put these events from the chapter into the correct order? So you don't need to write them out, but could you just read through them and then write the letters A, B, C, D, E in the correct order? So pause the video to do this now. Okay, so it's B, D, A, E, C. Please can you check you've got them in the right order? If not, please can you correct your answers? So how is Toad presented at the end of the chapter? What I'd like you to do is read through the extract and class charts and then highlight and annotate it with your ideas. So pause the video to do that now. So these are some things you may have picked up. Whenever you're looking at how a character is presented, you should really focus on things like adjectives, adverbs and verbs that are used to describe them. So you may have picked out desperately, fat, short, struggled on blindly and wildly, grasped, blind panic, tried to grasp, gasped poor Toad, slowly with difficulty, and panting for he was quite exhausted. Earlier in the chapter, Toad considers himself to be quite the impressive Toad, but here we see his weakness when he is contending with nature. The river is far stronger, and Toad is no match for it. Mr. Toad's Song. So Toad sings a song in this chapter, where he considers himself to be very impressive. Here is Toad's song, with the last two lines of each stanza missing. What I'd like you to do is write the last two lines of each stanza with a more truthful version of Mr. Toad and his behaviour. It might help to make things rhyme by making Toad the last word of the final line of each stanza. So in terms of the rhyme scheme, we've got showed, which is B. So the fourth line, if you made it Toad, it would be A, B, something, B. So you may want to make the first line and the third line rhyme, or that would be A, B, A, B. Or you may want to make the first line and the third line not rhyme. So that would be A, B, C, B. So either option is fine. If you want to challenge yourself, I'd recommend A, B, A, B. So lines 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 rhyme. But as a minimum, A, B, C, B. So lines 2 and 4 have to rhyme. 1 and 3 don't have to if you're struggling. So pause the video now to write out the poem with the last two lines of each stanza, with the last two lines of each stanza you were creating. And what I'd like to do is make sure you've written up a neat version of your song, and you can complete it with illustrations if you like, and submit it to class charts. So make sure you've got the 2 lines from the song, plus the 2 lines that you've created for each stanza, written up neatly. And so the last thing we're going to do, we're going to read through the original version of Toad's song. The book has had great heroes, as history books have showed, but never a name to go down in fame compared with that of Toad. The clever men at Oxford know all that there is to be known, but they none of them know one half as much as intelligent Mr. Toad. The animals sat in the ark and cried, their tears in torrents flowed. Who was it that said, "There's land ahead," encouraging Mr. Toad? The army all saluted as they marched along the road. Was it the king or Mr. Kitchener? No, it was Mr. Toad. The queen and her ladies in waiting sat at the window and sewed. She cried, "Look, "Who's that handsome young man?" They answered, "Mr. Toad." So think about, is it better than yours, or is yours even better? Maybe I'll have to decide that for myself. So hopefully you enjoyed that original song. And that is the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for your hard work. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you produce, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. So thank you once again, have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon.